This is going to be a quickie review of The Jungle Book, which I saw today, which is a Disney movie based on the Disney cartoon. I did an earlier version of it where all through the video I have a piece of rice on my face that I didn't notice. So I'm going to completely reshoot all that and not show you that footage. Maybe it'll end up on a bloopers at the end of DVD season 8, but maybe not. It wasn't that good. Yeah, I got interrupted constantly anyway, so I kept repeating myself about the movie. It was a fairly packed house. It was a 1:15 show. The previews included 9 Lives, which was a movie about a man who gets transformed into a cat. He meets up with Christopher Walken because Christopher Walken is magical and he has powers. And he apparently has the ability to turn people into cats. And he turns De Niro into a cat, and he has to get back with his family vicariously through being a cat. It doesn't look that good, really. It looks whimsical, but on purpose. It probably, it just doesn't, yeah, if those are the only jokes that are in the preview, I don't know. It could be bad. But they showed a sort of a Robinson Crusoe movie as well, a preview. It was something tropical island something. It doesn't look like it's DreamWorks or Disney. It's sort of in between, sort of Amblin or something. There's a lot of funny animals on an island a la Madagascar. And they meet Robinson Crusoe, a human. And hijinks happen. And, of course, fart jokes. It doesn't look that interesting. Not from the preview, anyway. Then we have... there was a preview of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the Harry Potter prequel, which takes place 100 years before Harry Potter, in the 1900s. It mentions Dumbledore in it. That implies that he's over 100 years old, apparently. Yeah, so that's pretty old. That was well liked by the people that were a little surprised at another Harry Potter type of universe thing. That were a little older, that were now in their 20s, that remembered it from when they were kids. Or even in their late 20s, some of them. But yeah, the most of the packed house, were little children for the Jungle Book movie, and none of which would know anything about the Jungle Book movie or any of the prequels or any of the 90s version or the early 2000s sequel or the other stuff. That on the other review, I just didn't do my research before doing the review and didn't know what all of that was. So I'll just say Roger Kipling's review of the Jungle Book. Yeah, he couldn't review it. He wrote the story. This is Disney. This is directed by Jon Favreau, the guy who did Iron Man. We had Bill Murray and several other people playing. Idris Elba was probably butchering that name. Was Shere Khan. We also had Bagheera and other characters. The King Timur guy. Rikki-Tikki-Tavi. Other characters. Mowgli, of course, is the kid played by, I don't know who this guy is, really. The girl from The Beast of the Southern Wild is one of the wolves. The mother from the other one plays, who was also in, and I'm going to butcher that name too if I say it, that the lady who played the orange lady in Star Wars. Orange little puppet. Nintumba or something, I think it's either first or last name. Anyway, so the movie has an all-star cast. Scarlett Johansson plays a python. In the other review, I tried to identify the jungle. Of course, the cartoon confuses anybody from my generation. And they address it in the movie, which is awesome. It doesn't just mean it was just me. Lots of them were confused. Okay. Yeah, the original cartoon was in places quite dark, and if you were impatient with the ending of the cartoon, and they did the sort of sacrificial Blue apparently dies thing, you turned it off. You did not watch the rest of it, or didn't like the fact that he just kind of comes back later on. Missed that part. Just went over my head. Missed it. Even seeing it later, realized, hey, he didn't die. Well, he appeared in Tailspin later, so he must have not died. But apparently, the filmmakers of this movie knew that that was a bone of consternation. Not just me, but enough that they address it in the movie. So a lot of other people were like, oh, it's a little dark, let's address that in the movie. So they do. At one point, there's the fight between Shere Khan and Mowgli and the others, Blue and Bagheera, which doesn't give away the story any. It's different from the cartoon, okay? And they basically don't have the faux sacrifice, no psyche, he's not really dead thing. They go, the allegory there, they just go right for, are you all right? Yeah. You know, they just go there, which made definitely emotional impact a little bit of the original, but I think it still works because they do the Disney ending to Shere Khan, the Disney ending they always do in action jungle movies, ripping off the end of the Lion King, the bad guy. Yeah, so if you've seen that, you'll know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, was it a good movie? Yes, it's a very good movie. It has a lot of fun characters and references. Interesting making Christopher Walken sort of a giant orangutan instead of a regular orangutan, making him a giant Gigantopithecus, and making a joke about that when he wasn't originally. But the CG is good, and the use of puppetry is good. You can't tell really too badly what the transition there between the two. It works as a movie. It has charm and heart. It doesn't have the emotional strains of a Pixar movie, which usually causes people to go to tears, but it does have, some good stuff. It has some good visuals. It's very pretty. It's the visuals are not distracting like in the Good Dinosaur movie. The visuals are distracting there because the visuals are so good when they cut to the dinosaurs, they don't quite look right. They look cartoonish. And that threw people off. It didn't throw me off, but it threw other people off. I liked it. Mark's Cards also liked it. We also liked Zootopia. Mark's Cards liked Zootopia better than I did. I said it was very good, but not the best movie ever, I don't know if The Jungle Book is the best movie ever either, but it made me sing the Bare Necessities song over and over again, so I guess it worked. It is odd that there's the Bare Necessities Southern song in there, but that's fun. It's a nod to the movie, and also the King song, the King Ape song is in there, but slightly different. You wanted to make it different, and it's interesting that in the cartoon they make it sound like they're Southern minstrel, like men in blackface singing it. I think they actually were African Americans doing the voices, but I'm not sure. But it did seem a little off somehow. Like Song of the South was very off, and they will never be doing a remake of that. Although it would be interesting if they did. They tried to fix that to make it not at all offensive. It'd be kind of hard to pull that off. But yeah, the Jungle Book is not offensive. The new version is quite on point there. They do include African American actors in it, as I said. The two wolves are two African American actors. Shere Khan, oddly enough, isn't. He's somebody famous. I blanked on his name. I'm not going to look it up though. Anyway, so yeah, the Jungle Book saw the non-3D version. There was a 3D and a 3D special edition version, which I imagine are really amazing for those of you that can watch 3D. However, I could not. So I'm redoing this review, and I've gone over just about everything. And it's a little shorter. And yeah, so the shorter review than before. Jungle Book, Disney. Go and see it in theaters. It's the cartoon. You should probably rent the cartoon too, I guess, if you want to watch it. It's very true to the cartoon and to the first and second books and in the series, which the cartoon was like. There was apparently other versions of it out there. I thought originally in the interview that review that there was a Jungle Book live action one done in the early 2000s. It turns out that was 1997 or 98. It was actually a long time ago, so it was a while back. There was another, I guess, a BBC one that aired later on, but it wasn't that one. There was one that wasn't Disney related that aired that was sort of about Moai, but it wasn't that one either. And yeah, so there's my Jungle Book review. I decided to go over do it again, and so yeah, I think I addressed everything. What was one other preview? I don't know. It was fun. Yeah, you want to see it? Yeah. Will there be a slightly raunchy Kal Kat version of the song Bare Necessities? Probably not. But I'll just sing a few bars of it here and see if YouTube sets it up. Bare necessities, the bare necessities. Don't worry about your troubles and your strife. The bare necessities, the bare necessities of life. Okay, yeah, it's probably gonna set it off. But yeah, so we're sellouts at Disney. You know, we've been there. We're fans. We're not sellouts. We're not product placement. Yeah, we wear the shirts and things, and occasionally pull out the products and stuff like that, put them on. But some people were complaining, "Oh, you guys are sellouts." If we were sellouts, we would have a lot more hits than we do. Come on. Oh yeah, no. The having a Pepsi on the or something on the cast, you know, having an Arizona in the background, or wearing a Vans hat. We're not product placing at all. No, we're spoofing that. So or Disney, you know. It doesn't. They don't include the song with the in the cartoon with the girl like with the basket. That's not in the new version. So don't worry about that one. But that was the one where it was a little bit suggestive that it was just a little odd. They didn't include that one. And it reminds me of the infamous YouTube video, the Jungle Book parody, which has been uploaded by several other people over and over again, and keeps getting taken down and put back up. Some Scandinavian guy is like making fun of the Bare Necessities song, and he's basically recribbed it so it sounds like Baloo is the pedo bear, which is really messed up. But it's funny that he's a Scandinavian guy, and he's like, "Oh, better than Bagheera." So there. But yes, that's not in this movie. Although I kept thinking about that parody in the movie and chuckling at stuff that. Oh yeah, there were several seats vacant next to me. No, but yeah. So. You know, and what's funny is this particular theater shows tells you 3 different ways not to have your cell phones on. There was an Angry Birds one. Oh, they showed a preview for the Angry Birds. They showed a different one, and as well, and you know, it's close. That movie does not look good. It just doesn't. Like the whole bears and the pigs. Ooh, it's like a meme you can play on your phone. It's like, what are they going to do next? Like Candy Crush? Because that would be interesting. They kind of already did that, though. It was called Wreck-It Ralph. Kind of already done that. So, yeah. So, yes, Wreck-It Ralph. Anyway, so... Da-da-da-da. What can we do this again? Da-da-da-da. But yeah, so no, we're not sellouts to Disney at all. We're just fans of Disney, and Disney should allow us to put up their park rights if you music, because hey, it's free advertising for Disney. We're not paying anybody; they're not paying us. Nope. You can go watch our Disneyland trip, but the music has been changed. So yeah, it's me. But there was actually park music there. Anyway, so this is a review of the Jungle Book movie. assuming that everyone liked it. There were no screaming children, but there were children. At one point, one of them was kicking my seat. That was fun. But then they stopped. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, it was fun. Yeah, go see it. Yeah, it was fun. I'm just impressed that I wasn't interrupted this time, because the last time I did this review, there were 5 times. 5 times. So this version, no problem. And that was the end of the Jungle Book review. So yeah, and the lighting's better. Close to this light. Like a Klieg light going... Like sardonic evil. Yes. Oh. There we go. The Jungle Book. So, I thought I would add to the Jungle Book review thingy, having read up a little bit on the version that was aired today. The version that was aired today is an adaptation of the cartoon based on the Roger Kipling book from the 1890s. Yeah, so I didn't get that wrong. Some of the stuff is answered if it actually read the book, which apparently I didn't get the first time around. The jungle is supposed to be the Indian jungle, so that solves the beginning of the story, saying, well, was it Africa or somewhere else, or no, it's India. It's supposed to be India. Okay, I don't know if it is in the movie, but that's where Kipling set the books. Apparently, there were several books. The cartoon and this movie take liberties with the story, kind of adding other elements of other Kipling stories to the narrative of the first book to make it a little longer, I guess, because you can make a movie out of it. The book apparently isn't long enough on story to come up with the full features, so they used some elements from the other books throughout and kind of put them in there. Yeah, nothing else too odd. Although making the king guy a gorilla is off. It's supposed to be a chimp or some sort of an orangutan. So that's probably, they just wanted to make that Gigantopithecus song and make it funny. But originally the songs in the cartoon are actually quite a bit controversial if you play them now. They're now I think they actually were done by African American vocalists, but they sound really dated in this 1967 version, and they're fun. That bare necessities, whatever, and it's sort of this southern charm thing going on with these guys singing this song, which is odd because this sort of antebellum South thing. They did that with their other thing, the Song of the South, as well. So that whole mystique of that kind of thing, and to some extent, The Prince and the Frog, which came later. They won't ever be doing a new adaptation of Song of the South because it was very controversial. And although you can see some of the figurines and characters at the park on the rides, some of the rides at Disneyland, they've co-opted some of the characters and put them on Splash Mountain and stuff like that. That's supposed to be from that Splash Mountain. So, Jungle Book movie's really good. A good adaptation of the cartoon. There apparently, there was an attempt to make a Jungle Book 2 cartoon based on the second book, but only loosely. There were several versions of this story in the 90s. And there actually is another version being produced because the book is public domain by another company involving Andy Serkis. So there's going to be another Jungle Book within 2 years, and it's totally different because why not do another one within 2 years of this one? So yeah, there's a lot of other Jungle Book stuff coming out, just like there was in the 90s with Tailspin and all the ones that followed. Anyway, this is my Jungle Book review, and thought I would add that it's an Indian jungle. It's supposed to be India. And, Roger Kipling. And Roger Kipling apparently later admitted that he actually got some of his stories from other people, but he didn't know where, in a memoir. So he didn't know where he got the stories from. But, Anyway, so, public domain. Yeah, Rupert Kipling, English, British guy. Yeah, and Mowgli's been the subject of a Japanese anime as well, and a number of other things have been spun off from him. Actually, the reason he's like Tarzan is that actually the Tarzan, the Burroughs story, Tarzan, the ape man, that kind of thing, is actually cribbed from Kipling. Tarzan is loosely based on that same universe. So it's weird. So they're in the same universe, kind of. So Tarzan and Jungle Book are in the same universe. There's a Tarzan movie coming out, which is going to be more like Planet of the Apes. It looks like, but yeah, it's interesting that this one had a King Kong in it. So okay, but King Kong orangutan gorilla, but yeah, it's interesting that there's some stuff. Had I just gone and read a little afterward, would have realized, oh, okay, that's why they did that. But I probably should have. But yeah, and it's funny that Blue. Yeah, the bare necessity song is very catchy. Bare necessities, the bare necessities of life. And that'll probably set off the YouTube bots, even though that's me singing it. Let's see if it does. Anyway, we'll watch the Jungle Book, and yeah, or get the illustrated story or whatnot like that. Okay, yeah, cool. Greetings, Captain. Greetings, this is Kal Kat, the Calcaster, and I've just come back from a showing of the Jungle Book. I think it's the second or third time they've made a live-action version of the Jungle Book, as if they're in the South, like in the Everglades, which isn't really a jungle. It's sort of, I guess, but it's very settled now. Some of it isn't, though. Yeah, the swampland and whatever. So where are they? Are they in the savannah in Africa, or are they in the Everglades, or are they somewhere in between? Are they in the Amazon? There's a cat, or something. It's transformed into a cat. Yeah, what with the previews? Yeah, I mean greetings. And this is the Kal Kat Show. And this is a continuation of my review of the Jungle Book. Yeah, I got interrupted 3 times. So here is the rest of it. The Jungle Book movie. Yeah, very spectacular visuals. They apparently used a lot of weird. Yeah, not sure what it's. Yeah, the island or something. Not to be confused with Michael Bay's The Island, which was about an island of clones. Constant. All right, let's close the review with, yes, go out and see the Jungle Book in theaters. I saw the 2D version, not the 3D version, and had to wait 2 hours for it because for some reason they didn't have enough showings of the 2D version. They wanted to sell more of the 3D one. Don't bother with the 3D XD version unless you just really like 3D. I don't really like 3D, so yeah. So go see the Jungle Book in theaters. It's probably PG or something. Maybe even, I don't even think it's PG-13. I think it's PG. But yeah, there was packed house. There were adults and children and stuff, and even much older folks stuff. So yeah, from the original. Okay, go and see the Jungle Book movie from Disney. Yeah, that's it.